imagine there's no good man, no a man or two, no dick and heat pumps, no leaks stopping them too. Imagine Harold Goodman became an astronaut. Imagine all TX valves never had stuck closed, the bulb securely fastened with no zip tie shown. Imagine every system had parts that were in stock. Yeah, I can say I'm a dreamer, 'cause I'll never see the day. You can say I'm a dreamer. To me, that's the only way. Imagine all the addicts, work condition space, and all the ducting would already be replaced. Imagine all the salesmen had to install too. Now that's a good idea. You could say I'm a dreamer, just buy me a green and call it a day. But I'm not the only one. What's so bad about the leak stop? All my HVAC bros and sisters, I love carrying 50 refrigerants, know exactly how it's done. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to HVAC Air Conditioner Shop Talk on Saturday night. Saturday night! It's going to be fantastic out there tonight. It's going to be just as exciting as I made that sound. Guys, let's check and see real quick who's in the chat to see who really loves the show. Let's go down the line. Let's see. We got Josh F. F stands for Florentino. Mike Reed. Randy Williams. It's 70 and sunny here in Branson, Missouri. Jared Ballarodabo, Cajun word, going to be in the high 90s all week. And I assume because that's a Cajun word, must be in Nolans. Nolans. I think I'm saying that right. Here, let me move this over here. I don't want to be focusing on the Beckett thing the whole time. Beckett's a sponsor, though, so I support Beckett. Blah, gotta go. Melvin Kaufman says, my creativity is amazing. Thank you, Melvin. I ripped that song off from John Lennon. That's Imagine, but I made it HVAC, which made it less cool. Clint Glasgow, the sun finally came out in Texas. Leo Britt Air, maybe I'm saying that right. My HVAC life says 42 and raining there. Hey, he lives right down the street, so it's probably 42 and raining here. And Clint says Heavy Diesel still posting videos. Yes, John Heavy Diesel is definitely still posting videos. He posted some new ones, like I think right after I was talking about him the other day. Pretty cool. Clint was watching the trailer. Yeah, I stuck that video in there as a trailer. And I'll try to make one that actually looks like a trailer so you won't think you're already watching the show, which is sort of understandable from looking at what I put up there. Let's see here. It says sunny and 70. Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix, Arizona. He rises like a phoenix from the ashes. Phoenix, Arizona. Like the iced tea guys. KW Carver says, appreciate you. I appreciate you, man, for watching. Jared says the name is worse than Cajun. It's French Canadian. Good grief. And you're in Phoenix? Shouldn't you be in Montreal or something like that? Is that right? Montreal? Montreal? I can't even say it. Can't even say it. KW Carver says Franklin, Kentucky in here. Well, welcome from Franklin, Kentucky, wherever you guys are at. Whether you're my HVAC life and you're 12 seconds away from my house, or you're Jared and you're all the way in Phoenix. Phoenix. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Okay, let me see if anybody is on the because we're doing Rumble and we're doing YouTube. You know, plenty of people watch it on Rumble eventually. I don't know if they're bots, different kind of Rumble bots or not, but there are people over there watching it. So I'm like, hey, all right, we'll leave it up there. We're rocking and rolling, guys. It's gonna be great. All right. So, guys, I just upgraded and I want to share it with you, okay? Now, everybody, now check this out, okay? Who likes what brand of power tools? When you're rocking a power tool, what brand do you go with? Do you all go with Milwaukee? The Milwaukee guys try to leave everybody else alone, by the way, okay? Just because they don't like Milwaukee, don't hate them or anything. But what brand do you trust right here in your heart? What brand do you trust in your heart? I'm just curious, guys. I'm just curious because I got a brand new power tool, and it's going to be off the charts, guys. I'm going to let you know that you're going to be a little bit jealous. Going to be a little bit jealous. KW Carver says, just installers trying to learn. Hey, KW Carver, what do you want to learn about? The show's for you. Show's for the guys out there. So tell me, what specifically do you want to learn about? I want to know. All right, East Coast says he's Team Red. You know, I knew that. East Coast had to be Team Red. That's right. We're going there. Go Red. We got DeWalt. All right, we got DeWalt, and we got Milwaukee. Unless Team Red is Craftsman. You guys are probably talking about Craftsman. Or maybe Bauer. East Coast is probably Bauer. He's got to be Bauer. I'm just curious because no one is flying the teal flag here. No one's going straight up teal. Come on, guys. No one likes a nice Japanese tool. Josh F. with Porter Cable. I respect that. Clint says a lot of batteries. Melvin says Milwaukee. I didn't know if it was Milwaukee or Craftsman. I thought it might be Bauer. I have my Rigid for 8 years, says Jared. And Mike Reed says Milwaukee. Absolutely. Milwaukee. Milwaukee comes from the ancient Indian word Milwaukee, which means overexcited tool owner. That's what it means, I think. I don't know if I've translated that correctly. All right, let me show you guys what I got. You say you have the biggest and baddest brushless tool on the market. Well, I got a new drill today, and I am not shy at all about saying it's going to whoop y'all's drills' butts. And for you up north, that's you guys. You guys are going to be cruising for a bruising. Check this out. It's heavy. Check out my brand new Makita drill. Now, for you out there, guys, this is model number. Let me take my glasses off because I can't see because I'm older. 6090D. It's rocking up to 1100 RPMs and only takes a 9.8 volt battery. Who recognizes this drill? Obviously, this thing is old. Super, super old. So who recognizes this Makita drill with a barrel battery, little latch on the bottom? Anybody use that? I know some of you guys weren't born when this thing was in use, but I know some of you guys were definitely born and in the trade. I had one just like this. I love these drills. I had one of these when we had, this is, I think it's 9.8 volts. Let me look here. I'm 95% sure. I'm gonna go with that. It's like 9 point something. Hey, Dallas knows. Dallas knows. 19. No, this isn't 1980. This is like turn of the millennium, late 1990s, mid 1990s. My grandfather had one. Yeah. Well, it's not that old. It's like 25 years old. So somebody was selling this. I'm like, I have got to get this and like totally restore it. That'll be so fun. 9.6 volt. Is that what it is? It is 9.6. You're right. Not 9.8. 9.6. Some of the tools I saw were 10.8 volts. So there we go. I just got this today. I'm not expecting anything out of it. I'm not expecting anything out of this because I'm going to take it all apart. I'm going to redo the whole thing. We're going to change the bearings in it. We're going to just make it beautiful like it once was, because that's what I like to do, guys. That's what I like to do. I have a Milwaukee, for you Milwaukee guys who'll be angry if we don't talk about Milwaukee after a few minutes. I have a Milwaukee corded Sawzall. That grease started shooting out the end of it, so I'm pretty sure it needs a little bit of attention. Take that puppy apart too, guys. Now, I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to put it in there the right way, maybe. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's definitely not the right way. I have not tried it yet. I charged this battery. It says it has 10 point something volts, so it should work unless there's something wrong with the drill. Let's see. Oh, no. Well, it's going to be fun. I'm actually excited because I'm looking forward to working on it. Let's see. Nothing. Nothing. She's going to need some special attention. Oh, man. Well, I thought it would run, actually. Oh, well. So here's my plan for this. Here's what I'm going to do, guys. And Dallas is saying they made a 12-volt version. Yeah, I remember if any of you are the age of, I don't know, late 30s at least, coming up in the late 1990s, and HVAC was the dawn of using a lot of battery power tools. Before that, we literally had a drill that was corded that we plugged in to screw all the ductwork together. Yeah, that's true. Absolutely true. Brad, hey, Mike Reed, if it's got bad brushes, I got a whole pack of brushes back there. We're going to solve it. But it's not doing jack crap, but hey, it will be working, and you guys will see it. On my tools channel, I just got done doing a whole video on taking apart a Ryobi table saw all the way down, not all the way down, but most of the way down, and putting it back together. I painted it and everything. It's pretty cool. In fact, it's right here. See, it's black now. It's got a new top on it. But that video is available for your viewing if you want to see it. If you don't know where to find it, it's Zach's Tool Shop. I just redid all that and had a lot of fun doing it. Had a lot of fun. Going to redo that one too. And that was one of the first ones we got, like I was saying, back in the late 1990s. We plugged everything into drop cords for the longest time. You talk about drop lights in the crawl space. Nowadays, you guys flip the battery light on. That is so much better. So much better. Oh my gosh. They're not 300 degrees. Man, I just love doing it. Joe's like, Zach's turning to a scout crafter. I love taking stuff apart. It's like I've done it since I was 5. I still remember living in Wilmington, North Carolina, back when we lived in the city, right behind UNCW. And my father would bring stuff home, or we would find stuff because there's this huge wooded area. People would dump stuff periodically. We'd find something mechanical, whether it was a toaster. One time it was like a dirt bike or something. We took it all apart. We didn't put anything back together back then, but we took it all apart. Is this some kind of hipster hobby thing? I don't know. I don't think I'm hip. I'll put it this way. I enjoy doing it. I don't know if that's hipster or not, but I like it. And if you think I'm hip, then yes, that is the answer. But like I was saying, we had some 9.6 volt tools. We had 7.2 volt tools, as I recall, I believe. And then we got the 14.4s, and it was awesome. 14.4s was like, now we're cooking, bro. Now we're cooking. Then the 18s, and now there's 24s and 40 volt tools. If you want to spend your life savings on a Makita that's 40 volts, I would love to have it. Next week, Zach is going to show us his man bun. I don't know where this is going with man buns and stuff, but you got the wrong guy. Trust me. You definitely have the wrong guy. I'm not a man bun guy. I'm not. I'm a beard guy. I'm a guy who likes guy things. What's the word people use now? I forget what the word is. I identify as a man, and because I am one, because of God. God did that. Let's see here. Next week, Zach's doing a man bun. Thank you. Clint says, I still bring stuff home from the scrapyard. In fact, let's put our chat up on the screen here. We can all read it together. I still bring home stuff from the scrapyard. Oh my gosh. I just like it. I like it, guys. And, this project behind me is a workshop here. I redo furniture already. We rebuild furniture and we sell it. So that's something we have a productive use in, because I hate to spend too much time on something that doesn't provide for the family, because it feels like you're taking away from either family time or a means to provide. So turning it into a means to provide is critical. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to resell those things, and hopefully someone will buy them. Hopefully someone will buy them. If they don't, I'll just use them. Sometimes I have to use them myself because I need them, like the table saw. I needed something a little bit more powerful. Dallas says the 7.2 volt orange Makita drill. I remember they had an orange battery. I remember the orange batteries. I remember we had a barrel style battery and it was like a jigsaw, except it was straight. It wasn't like a D-handle jigsaw. It's weird. It's weird. Next, Zach is going to make his own beer. Is that like a thing? Is this like, am I falling into an area where I'm cliche at something? Guys, I want to apologize. I want to be one of a kind, but you're telling me there's a cliche coming up. I am very sorry. I'm very sorry. HVAC verse. I should showcase my 1989 corded drill. You should. It'd be nice. I was going to buy some of those chromed out metal drills. HVAC. Oh, sorry. Joe Shear says, I remember getting the 14.4 fluorescent light. That thing was awesome. Yeah, it's awesome. Dustin Hendricks, welcome to the stream. All right, let's get over here. We'll get some comments or something going. Let's get some comments. Let's get some talking. Guys, let's talk. Let's rap, guys. Let's wrap. It's Saturday night. Let's have some fun. We got some fake news coming up here in a little bit. It's going to be funny, I hope. I meant it to be funny, so hopefully you find it funny. Let's look at some comments. And hopefully at no point during this show do I go, like, you don't hear me. What they call mute. I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to blow this up and see if I can make it a little bit larger. Let's see how bad this does. Oh, yeah. That's going to make it super large. Let me do that. Okay. All right. So TP Services here says, my mentor. There goes my meter turning off in the background. Hear the beeping. My mentor from the late 70s said when he got started doing HVAC, he really didn't know that much. And when he ran into something he couldn't figure out, he would tell the customer that he needed a part and leave, go to a payphone and call his boss for advice. He turned out to be one heck of a technician. I will always be grateful for his advice and inspiration. Yes, we are definitely living in a time that it is just incredible. There's so much information available very quickly. You never have to worry about not having the manual, because you can look it up online as long as you have cell service. Now, I'm out in the country, so sometimes there's no cell service, and that's just the way it is. But most of the time, you can find some sort of cell service and get information, get Wi-Fi from the customer, whatever. It always works. Back in the day, it was much harder, and definitely, like we were talking about in the last show, we needed some maps, and I'm going to tell you what, you got lost a lot. Let's see if we got anything else here. And let's see. Can I use my JobLink temperature clamps with this manifold? Yes, there's a chance to win a filled piece manifold here. I put a post up on YouTube, so if you need a new manifold or you like winning free stuff, which seems to be pretty universal, make sure you enter that contest to try to win the, I think it's S-Man 380V, something like that. I don't know. Not sure. As a TSA for a distributor that supplies York, this is Jared. York equipment, that fake news about the York coils hurt. I'm sorry about that. There'll be no York stuff tonight, so don't worry about it. There's no York. There'll be no York damage done tonight. Do not worry. Dizzy Dallas just in. He tells Joe Shearer he commissioned the Bosch yesterday. Let the humidity problems begin. I'm just kidding. He's out there in the desert area. No problem there. Bosch thrives there. Let's see what else we got here. Looks like someone, hey, Rivergate's going to buy that Harbor Freight tubing bender. Good deal. We should probably look at that 380V. Some guys were asking questions. We could Google it, guys. I also want to say this. I'll put a link in the chat if anyone wants to pop in here and chit chat for a minute or two. In fact, let me pop out of here so I can give you guys the link, and then I'll pop right back. And if you come in here, you can play. We have available to play tonight. You can play trivia, which is the same old trivia. And there's shirts behind me. Whoa. shirts behind me. There's a Beckett shirt. There's a Shop Talk shirt. You could win stuff. That's nice. There's other stuff. There is, look, iPhone adapter. This is not, you can't win that, but there's stickers and other things like that that you can win. It'll be a lot of fun. Or you can do name that YouTuber. I have some YouTube clips in there, and all you got to do is name that YouTuber, and you win something. That's pretty easy. They're all famous. They're all famous. I'm just kidding, Dallas. It'll be fine. If you like my headphones, they're Audio Technica, and they're not expensive. Shh. They're $50. My microphone's not expensive either. Nothing about this is expensive. As it turns out, you don't need expensive stuff to sound halfway decent, and halfway is good enough, guys. All right, let me get you a link. Ooh, wow. That was pretty lascivious, Joe. All right, there's a link to the StreamYard, and you can come in here. I may not see you initially because we're looking at comments, but please come in here and, hang around for a while. Win some stuff. Interact. This is your show. Okay, come in here and we'll talk about something you want to talk about. Let's take a look at the comments here. Oh, yeah. Real professional. Thank you. No, I appreciate that. I like these. They're pretty good. Like I said, a lot of times you can find something that's pretty good and you don't have to break the bank for it. And that's where Harbor Freight comes into play, guys. I'm just saying, don't get mad. Don't get mad. Let's see what Rivergate says here. This is on a small introduction to Gree Flex. These should sell well once Biden's awesome Build Back Better $8,000 heat pump POS rebates start to end at the end of the year. Plus, they are better for the environment, especially if one has solar panels. I was at a friend of a friend's house yesterday, and he got suckered into 2 new gas furnaces and a 14-SEER outdoor vertical condenser. Ooh, he says the name. I'm not going to say the name right there, so sorry about that. Oopsie. We'll skip that part. Let's go down to this one. Yeah, you guys seem to really like the Why All HVAC Techs Eventually Go Insane skit that I put together. So in the future, we'll have Why All One-Man Companies Go Insane, and we'll do some more stuff like that. And we'll do some more Ralph Baer tech support because I think that was just a lot of fun to do. I had to find my rotary phone so we can make the skits. We'll find it. I'll skip all the comments that are on the HVAC training dual run capacitor video. And I made a video. I released a section where Hughes Man, yeah, we can read it, but I'm just not going to say it out loud because it's a podcast too. And it's too late for the reading part, I guess, because it showed up. Hughes Man, I interviewed him a little bit. He popped in here last time, and he's actually going to be live tonight at 9:00. So make sure you check out Hughes Man after this. I was going to do a thing where as soon as the stream is over, it switches to his stream, but it has to be coordinated with him. He has to give an approval or something. So that's not going to happen because I haven't reached out to him yet, but you can go check it out. It should be fun. It's called Misfits of HVAC. It's not on his channel. It's on Misfits of HVAC. Blue One. Renee Cuevas says, Blue One. What about Blue One? You want to talk about Blue One? You just say it. So here's one on why Ameristar. Chris Blanchard writes, nothing but issues with Ameristar AC unit on the 4th A coil now. That ain't good. That's too many A coils, guys. I don't know how many's too many, but that seems like too many. The copper coils corrode and start leaking. That sounds accurate too. Takes about 12 months to fail. I'm out of pocket about $2K. If that's all 4 coils are $2K, that's a pretty good bargain. But again, too bad it has to do that. There needs to be a class action lawsuit out there. I get a lot of this. There needs to be a class action lawsuit. There's a whole lot of that all the time. And yeah, they never happen. Or they do happen and then they don't go anywhere. Or I'm not quite sure what happens with all of them, but there's been a lot of them over the years. And, what are you going to do? Let's see if we have anything else. On the Carrier is the best HVACR unit. That was a narrative hook, so you guys would watch that video. I learned that at YouTube school. It's where I make my thumbnails too. No way. Let's be real. Ream, Goodman, and American Standard. Did you just put Goodman? Goodman? Oh no, we got to answer this comment. You accidentally wrote Goodman. Must have been an autocorrect. There we go. All right. Let's go ahead and reply because, he needs to know about that stuff or people are going to think that he likes Goodman. Okay. And I know he doesn't want that in his life. Renee's saying he's installed Goodman for 10 years and no issues. Every time I start complaining about Goodman, there's always a guy who's always liked Goodman. Dang it. I've had some problems with Goodman. I'll be honest with you. I had some problems with Goodman over the years, and I like to poke a little fun at him. But you know what? I'm perfectly comfortable with Goodman because I feel like it's like the devil you know. They all have all these issues, but Goodman I'm so familiar with, I could build a Goodman. In here, give me one day, I'll build a Goodman. I like that, Dallas. That's funny. Let's see if we have anything else here. We got old school communication methods for HVAC techs. When I grew up, this is Jeffrey. Cell phones are just now catching on, between 20 and 30 years behind the USA. Right now, it's services that use AT&T or nothing. They had a heck of a time getting the infrastructure. Oh, man, there's a lot of cell phone history right there. Too much cell phone history. Losing interest. One company I worked for had a CB radio. That sounds kind of fun. Renee Cuevas is bringing up a good point here about generic stuff. The Goodmans, you can repair them with generic parts, and that is a good thing. That is a really cool thing where you go out to a Goodman call, and this is something I always liked about Goodman and Amana because of the same thing, or Daikin. When you have parts that fail, and I can't speak to Guyton. I've never worked on Daikin now. I've only worked on the Amana and the Goodman. A lot of the stuff you can repair with parts on hand. Even if you have to get a warranty part, you can fix it, which I value that very highly. I like the fact that you can fix it, because if you can't fix something in a reasonable amount of time, it gets you into hot water, and it gets you into a lot of long-winded scuffles, because you got to order something. And like, you know how it is nowadays. You want to go in, you call into the Goodman Supply House, ring, 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 ring. Yes, this is Goodman Supply House. What's your problem? Or however they answer. I don't know how they answer. And then you say, I need an ECM motor module. And you hear them just go, which one? And then they tell you that it's 4 years out or something like that. And you say, well, I need a PSC motor. It's like, we got 70 of those. Thank you. Come pick one up. I just like it being simple. I like simple stuff because I think it's like tortoise and the hare. I mean, no matter how efficient something is, if it costs more and more to service it, then what did you really gain? Comfort? I guess it's comfort. You need to go outside anyway. KW Carver says, I recently installed a day and night first ever 92 plus furnace with AC. We normally install American Standard or Ream Rudd. Renee says, generic fan and blowers, relays, and contactors. I'm being honest, after 30 in the field. Hey, Renee, it sounds good to me, man. I carried a lot of them. I used them a lot of the time. I'm not a huge proponent of OEM unless it's absolutely critical or a safety issue. I'm with you. Let's see here. Is there anything else? I think we're going to probably take our break. Let me see if anyone else is waiting in the on-call area, and then we'll go to break for a minute. Let's see. Go over there. Hey, there actually is somebody waiting. Hey, there's somebody actually there. Let's see. Hey, let's go straight over there, because I see that it's HVACR Verse, and he has a cool screen over there. So let's see what's going on here. And let's see how we do that. I'm going to bring myself in, and he's going to start to hear me now, although he can't speak yet. And I'm going to try to remember what I'm supposed to be doing. I remember. It's coming back to me. One step down, two steps, too many steps right here. Okay, too many steps. All right, let's go over there and see what's going on with HVAC Verse. Bam, he's here. Hey, man, you got a cool screen. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, man, that looks really cool. You got like some kind of YouTube channel I don't know about or something? What's going on?
I emailed you last week. I'm starting to set up the YouTube channel.
Oh, okay, that's right.
It's taking some time. There's some trial and errors and some things that have just been shipped broken. So,
oh man, that looks good. Man, that looks better than this one. I've had a lot of time too, so there's no excuse. You got a TV behind you. You're standing there. You're looking very cool.
you know what?
Nice.
My wife is the brains behind all that, so I can't take credit.
It's pretty nice. I mean, you found that wife. I mean, that's credit to you. Good job for selecting her. Oh man. Okay, so everybody can hear everybody here. It's a miracle. I can't believe it. So hey, tell me a little bit about it. Now that we're sitting here, we see your stuff. What do you got going on there?
So I've been doing this for about 23 years, and I don't know if you're familiar with anything out here in Arizona. We have what we call heat pump council. It's kind of like NATE, but I'm one of the instructors for Heat Pump Council, and I also run an air conditioning company. And it just all the guys are like, "Man, why don't you post videos about all this stuff that you do?" And I'm like, "'Cause I don't have time." So now I kind of have time. So slowly getting it working in the videos and stuff. I started doing the TikTok thing, and I'm not really a big fan of the TikTok stuff. So
I
figured
don't
I'd come
blame you.
here and see what I can post and share some knowledge and information.
Well, that's pretty cool right there. First of all, yeah, TikTok, they're already downloading your thoughts. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just I'm gonna speculate that your thoughts and your neighbor's thoughts have already been downloaded. They triangulate your location. So I mean, you don't want that. And that's pretty cool that you actually are an instructor. You own the company, or you own a company.
I I don't own I'm not sure how licensing works so I'm from Florida and I moved out here to Arizona. I'm what they call the qualifying party. I hold the license for the company and I'm the service manager. So I hold the license for the company. I don't own it. I just hold the contracting license and I'm the service manager. So
So, but if you leave, the company immediately goes under.
um I wouldn't say they'd go under. They have 90 days to find a new qualifying party, someone to hold the license. And technically I am under contract, so I have to give them a 90-day notice.
Oh, well, that's kind of neat. Yeah, it's similar here. People do that where they use a license to do a job and kind of work under somebody else. So that's similar to what it is here.
But here in
Um,
the state, you have to actually have stake in the company in order to be a qualifying party.
that's good. That's definitely a nice step to take because there's a lot of I don't know redneck ways to do things where you just hey a guy I know has a license, let's get his license and get a permit, and then we can do an awful job officially
Well,
under
they
permitting.
kind of asked me to take the license because I used to own my own company, and I not that it was a failure, it was actually very successful. I the stress was like beyond what I could handle.
What would you say was the biggest stressor owning the company?
Um, the biggest stressor was when it was just me and my business partner when we started out. I was just going to be a silent partner and just be kind of like the cash flow behind everything. And what really got to me was when we started having to hire employees because he was the sales brains and he'd sell, 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 sell. And we got to the point where I was like, we're both working beyond what we can handle, right? So I told him, I was like, we need to start hiring people. So we hired 2 technicians, bought a couple trucks, and turn around. And guess what? You need now an office staff to manage those guys. And we had like, I think 10 technicians total, but it was just so stressful. I had a truck that burned to the ground and it made me freak out.
Wow, yeah.
Um, Technicians that got in trouble and your customers calling you and complaining because we did industrial refrigeration. And you're like, man, I can't afford to lose a multi-million-dollar account. So I just sat there
Wow.
one day and I was like, you know what? Owning a company's not for me right now.
Now, okay, don't tell me because I owned a company for a lot of years, not in the same situation, a residential situation, and it was very stressful for me as well. Do you think that's something that you acquire an ability to deal with, or is it just something where you identify that this isn't for me and you just go somewhere else and do something else?
I I think that over time I've learned ways to handle the stress. Because when I jumped into it, I was pretty young. I want to say I was like 23 years old when I jumped into starting a company. Um, and I just was not
Wow.
ready for that stress. And I had no life, no freedom. I literally worked more than I ever imagined I'd work in my life ever. I leave for the field, come home, sit in my office at my house, do my paperwork, get the next day lined up, wake up the next day, do it all over again, 7 days a week, and it never ended. Now I kind of learned the balance between where you tell a customer, "Hey, no, this is not the time for this. We can wait a couple days for this. Let's give it a break," stuff like that, and how to just let certain things not bother you. That's what I think it really boils down to, because I let everything bother me when I have my company.
It's hard to turn that off, though. I mean, if something bothers you, like let's say customers that have issues, if it really eats at you and bothers you, I mean, I don't know if that's something that you can ever really shake completely. It's just part of your DNA almost. What do you think?
Um, Yeah, it's hard to shake the when customers are upset about something or they feel like you did a poor job, but you got to kind of learn to not let it eat you as much. And my wife will say, I let everything eat me if I can't figure it out. it eats at me, eats at me, eats at me. I'll wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and be like, oh man, that's why that board did that. I gotta get on the computer and let me find this board real quick and let my customer know first thing in the morning. I don't do that too much anymore.
I don't blame
I don't like
you.
it bugs me all in. If I can't figure out something, it eats away at me. But I would say in the past 5 years, I've learned to let it not eat away at me. And I really think what kind of helped me scale back a little bit is I waited longer in my life to have kids. And with my first kid, I realized that work is not everything. So
Sure. Yeah.
that's kind
Yeah.
of why I left my last company. I traveled way too much. I traveled all over the country doing controls, and I was what they call the Western Regional Service Manager and sales manager. And I just traveled across the country selling controls and new equipment and stuff like that. And it turned into with COVID that is just way too much work, and I never saw my kids. And I was like, you know what, work's not everything.
Now, it was the onset of COVID. Did it keep you out of travel and you discovered during that time period that you were traveling too much, or how did that work? Did COVID help in that regard?
No, COVID actually made me travel more because one,
Wow.
I had a shortage of technicians. I had technicians that wanted to retire, and they just took it and they were like, "Oh, I'm done," you know. So they were older, and then also there was like we did a lot of Hawaii work, and a lot of the contractors in Hawaii were just like, "Yeah, we're not doing work anymore because of COVID." So we actually picked up more work, and which required me to travel more, and it just became a thing of I don't know.
Well,
I started working harder because of COVID.
I don't know what Hawaii work is precisely, but it sounds good. It sounds like something you want to do.
During COVID, it's not fun, but before COVID and stuff, it was pretty nice. But we were an industrial refrigeration company. I tried to stay out of the residential world for as long as I could. I did it for a few years with my grandfather, and I kind of was like, I'm not. This isn't for me. And I stopped.
Why not? Why'd you prefer industrial over residential? It's got to be people, right? It's got to be the customers.
It was mostly due to the customers, and it was also kind of a thing of like you always talk about like I've been watching your channel for a while. You got the super tech, right? I,
Super
I
text,
was
yeah.
I was that guy. I had to be the best at everything, and I always felt like the industrial refrigeration, the ammonia market, like if you could master that, you were the best.
It looks good. It really does look good. You know, from my vantage point at residential, which is the lowest part of the pyramid, someone who does industrial ammonia refrigeration, they look pretty cool. They're like rocket scientists. So
Yeah,
I think you're right about the perceptive part of that. But yeah, I guess you move past that and it's like perception is not everything.
yeah. Perception is not everything, and I'll be honest. And all like commercial, heavy commercial, and industrial. The and it's not always about the money, but the largest profit margin that we find is in the residential field.
Change out. Let's do some
You're
change outs.
well, it's not even that. It's just it's your largest profit margin because when it comes to industrial and commercial refrigeration, you usually charge by the hour. Um, at my company, we don't charge by the hour for commercial. We actually have flat rate pricing for stuff. So we actually have quite a few large accounts, and we do mostly restaurants. So, but yeah, it's commercial industrial is a different world. I feel like, and if if you can master the commercial and industrial world, you'd have no problem being a residential tech, and you'd actually probably make more money.
Yeah, residential techs do pretty well. I mean, if you can abandon your morality, you do real well.
Yeah, if you can abandon your. I have guys that are actually pretty moral. I have one guy. I call him my Remy specialist, and
Oh, the Remy Halo.
yeah, so you have to understand me. I am very anti Remy Halo IAQ stuff and hard start kits. Like I cringe whenever one of my guys put us in an invoice. You need a hard start kit, and I'm like, no, you don't.
Okay,
So
okay. I can understand the Remy Halo for everything because I've seen people, like you need a Remy Halo and then your car drives better and all that sort of thing. But why the hard start kit? Because I agree with you that people use them too much, but why do you say that?
So there actually is a thing, like if you look at some of the like compressors like Copeland, if you pull that actual compressor up, it will say no starting components. It'll say not
Mhm.
applicable. And that's because it's going to destroy the windings in that compressor, increasing that voltage. Because as you increase the voltage, you're going to increase the amperage. And a lot of guys don't understand is they look at these data plates and they go, just for an example, let's say the unit calls for block rotor amps at 127, right? And that's what the data plate says. But they don't understand that's at 230 volts tested in a factory. You have 247 volts. Yeah, your block rotor amps is going to be higher on startup. But they always assume they think the data plate is gospel. They don't actually take the difference in the voltage and add it and see, oh, well, the amp draw is actually normal.
I can definitely see that. We have voltages here that go all the way up to in the 250s that are
Hmm.
really close to the maximum allowable, so it says voltage. So I definitely understand that. And yeah, if you put hard start kits on units, it's you're expediting their death in a lot of cases. But they will start. They may start a little bit cleaner, but they will also die faster
Yeah,
sometimes. So yeah, I agree with you on that. That's interesting. You don't hear that a whole lot because guys like to use them a lot. I'm thinking of somebody in particular. Names
I don't,
not to
I
be
don't, I
said.
don't take them away from my technicians. I still let them sell them, but I go be smart about it. Don't promise that it's going to save their compressor. It's not a compressor saver. Usually, what those are intended to do is to extend what you have left because you may not have much left. And
Yeah,
that's
and
usually
there
the
shouldn't
point.
be at that point, right? You're trying
Yeah,
to keep it from just not starting it all ever again. You want to start, but it's like, all right, we're pushing this wheelbarrow up a hill one or two more times, and it's then it's going back down.
I don't know
Uh,
if you've looked into micro air at all. Have you ever heard of them?
I have not. Tell me about them.
They make these soft starts for residential air conditioning now.
I've heard of soft starts, but I haven't heard of them. Maybe that's something we could
They're the
talk about.
they are the most expensive on the market right now. And ICM just came out with an actual soft start, a true soft start that kind of mimics what micro air did. I installed a couple of those on someone's house, and one, it did everything it said it was going to do. It did lower the starting amps, and it slowly induced the voltage on the startup. The lights didn't dim on the house anymore. It didn't do the load shedding on the solar because we have a lot of solar here in Arizona. And
Hmm.
whenever the unit would kick on, it would turn the breaker off because it would draw so many amps in the heat. Well, with that soft start, it lowered that amp draw, and the load shed didn't happen anymore, and it was able to start up. And now they can start up the air conditioners on their generator.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, I'm gonna research that. I like ICM anyway. I like their product line, so I'll
Yeah,
research
I'm
that
waiting
one.
to hear back from ICM on what their capabilities are because the micro air says, hey, this is for like RV equipment. This is for 1.5 to 2.5 tons, and this is for 2 to 3.5 tons, and this is
Hmm.
3.5 or 4.5, whatever, all the way up to 6 tons.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I see. Well, there's several people that do that. I guess there's several different brands, and they don't always match precisely because they're very specific. They're supposed to be very specific for that compressor and unit, and oftentimes you're kind of getting the closest fit, which isn't ideal as well. Or Super
well,
Boost,
that's Buck Boost,
the
Super Boost,
Supco Super Boost, the one you see
yeah,
exploded
the
oftentimes a year later.
the magical 2 wire everyone can install.
Yeah, that's right. That's the one.
Yeah, I like I said, I despise hard kits. Hard start kits make me cringe.
That's the
But
hardest of all.
yeah, but I
It's only
mean,
10 bucks.
the nice thing about the ICM, I've looked into it, and the micro air soft start is it's actually adjusting and learning as it starts up that system. It starts up the first time, monitors it, starts up the second time, monitors it, starts up the third time and monitors it. And if it finds that happy point of how much voltage to actually put to that compressor before it's too little or too much.
Oh, that's very interesting. Yeah, I'll definitely read up on those and the ICM version as well. So this is something that you have used in practice already, or just a theoretical that you're going to use?
No, I've actually used the micro air soft starts on 2 Lennox units that were super loud on startup because that was their complaint. It was like super loud on startup, and the lights dimmed whenever they started up, which is weird because they were 2 stage Lennox units. But
Hmm.
we we put them in as just a test thing to see if it would do anything. Didn't do the load shed problem anymore with the solar. It solved the startup noise. Don't get me wrong, it didn't like quiet it down like an inverter system, but it was quieter. And it definitely allows them to run their generator. We tested the generator out, and they can start both air conditioners on the generator now.
Are they two-stage scroll compressors?
Yeah, two-stage scroll compressors.
Okay, interesting. That's pretty cool.
Not
Well,
like
let me ask you.
Old train with the two pumpkins, and they call it two-stage.
Yeah, it's there's two stages.
Yep, there are.
It's the most expensive possible way, but yeah, and that's what train's all about. Expensive. Let me ask you. So what have you got planned? First of all, do you want to play one of the trivias, or
Sure.
name that you can pick trivia or name that YouTuber? Which one would you like to do?
I think I would do the trivia because I only follow a couple of you on YouTube. I follow you, and I follow what's his name from HVAC school in Florida.
Oh, Brian.
Yeah, Brian.
Brian OR. Yeah, he was actually. Here's what you would have seen. The very first one. Check this out.
So why does a fuse blow? Why does it?
See, you would have got that right. See, you would have had that. But that's okay because we have trivia questions for you. You can win one of these fine shirts that you see hanging behind me that looks like a redneck clothesline, professionally done, mind you. And okay, so I'm going to ask you a question. You get it right, you get a shirt. You get it wrong, I'll probably still give you a shirt. So there's very little tension here. I'm going to add tense music. So here you go. Here it is. Here is your one and only question that has no effect on what you win. Here we are. Which manufacturer makes the Evolution series? Darwin, it's funny, right? Bryant, American Standard, or Bosch?
I'm going to go with Bosch.
Well, the answer is everybody loves Bosch, but believe it or not, the answer is actually Bryant. The Bryant Evolution.
Man, is that their inverter series?
It's their high end. It might have inverters in the series, but I know there's two-stage. I installed some two-stage versions of those. But look, because we reward failure and success here on the show, because we often do both ourselves, you get a shirt. All you have to do is email me, hvacshoptalk@gmail.com, and let me know your shirt size and where to send it, and I will send it to you with some stickers and stuff.
Yeah.
But before we go, I want to ask, what do you have going on next, and how can people find the stuff that you're working on?
Once I was in the process of making the first video when your YouTube live came up, and I was like, let me just stop and put that to the side and check out his YouTube live. And then I was also working on the first video for what will actually be something, and that's going to be for new technicians on where to spend their money coming into the field and where not to spend their money coming into the field.
Oh, that's good.
Because a lot of guys think they have to spend all the dollars on all the fancy stuff when they really don't have to.
Man, I couldn't agree with that more. Well, that's excellent. So if they go to your name in the chat, they can go to your YouTube channel. But where else? You say you're on TikTok. I know a lot of these guys, even though they talk about TikTok, are probably on there. So is it the same name throughout your social media?
No, not on the TikTok. The TikTok was it's company branded. It's Arizona's Dukes of Air.
Arizona Dukes of Air. Okay, where else can they find you besides those two places? At your house in the evening.
That's pretty much it. They can find me on the phone. I try to stay away from social media because it turns into a sour, bitter thing sometimes, I think. Yeah. So I kind of been getting pushed towards this. I just, every time I talked, I don't know if you're familiar with NCI.
Sure.
They tried to get me to come teach at NCI, and I was like, I'm not ready for that pay cut.
Oh, man. Yeah. I know some of the guys have been on here as guests for sure. But yeah, they're teachers.
NCI on there?
Yeah, sure. David Richardson comes on here probably as much as I do.
I've taken one of the classes.
Oh, geez. I'm trying to remember. We have Andy Holt, but he's not NCI. But his brother, David Holt, who is NCI, has come on here too. So we have both of them. And, of course, Andy's Outdoor University. So,
Yeah,
We have a few.
I have to be careful because I'm not sure what I can and cannot say due to being an instructor with Heat Pump Council, and that's part of the Electric League of Arizona. So I have to
You
find
guys
out
are the
still.
best. You guys, that's all you got to say. We're the best. If you want training, you want to go to NCI and get a bunch of garbage. I'm just kidding. They're great. I'm
Well,
sure
no,
y'all are
so
great.
like I actually prefer NCI over anybody. I really do. I think they have the best courses. Their airflow dynamics is phenomenal. Their combustion analyzation class, that's like probably the best class I've ever taken
Jim
for
Davis.
combustion analyzation.
Yeah, that's good. A lot of people talk about that. A lot of people, even guys that have been on here for years, YouTubers, say that taking Jim Davis's class has been eye-opening as far as understanding combustion. So absolutely right. Okay, so got the YouTube channel. You just got probably 2 more followers. You're welcome. And
Yeah, thank you.
we'll continue. If you're in the chat in the future, kind of let us know what you're working on, and we'll go check it out. And definitely we'll set up something official where you can come back and talk more if you like.
Yeah, I paid for the XSplit software, and I'm still working on it. And once I get it all figured out, I'm not certified, I guess, to be YouTube Live yet. So.
Oh, that's pretty easy. You must just have to click a box or something. I think everybody gets certified live pretty quick.
It takes 2 days, they said.
Okay. Well, cool. Yeah. If you have any questions, I've used XSplit the whole time. That's been the only software I've ever used, and be happy to help you. And come back and we'll have an official talk on whatever. We'll figure out what we can talk about, and we'll talk about it for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let someone else win some prizes now.
Yep. See if anyone else is man enough to come in here. I throw them down the gauntlet now, and I'm going to let you go. But thanks, man. I appreciate you coming on here and talking with me. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
And away we go. That was pretty cool. Awesome. Check out his channel, guys. Check out his channel. If you go on TikTok, hey, I'm not going to judge you. If you go on TikTok and you want to watch teenage girls shuffle dance because you're a creepy old person, I've never done that before, by the way. That was awful specific to never have done it. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. But hey, over there, everybody out there in the chat, we're going to take one more break. Did I take a first break yet? Did I even take the first break? Will somebody tell me if I took the first break in this show yet? Have you seen the fake news? I think I just went rambling for a while. Did anybody see fake news yet? Tell me. I think I might have missed both breaks. Have you seen any sponsor breaks? Oh, this show's been going for like 53 minutes. Oh my gosh. Hughes Man's going to start in a few minutes. He's going to be irritated. I know it. He's going to be irritated because I was trying to time this properly. He actually didn't know. Oh, you haven't seen anything. Okay, well, I'm going to play the 2 breaks here, which isn't that long because HVAC fake news is in there. You'll enjoy it. Hey, HVAC Live, I actually put you in the fake news just to be even funnier. It's flattering. Okay, it's flattering. It's not bad. And we'll take a look at that, and then I'll come back. And if you want to pop in here, anybody, and try to win something else, we'll wrap it up with that. Okay, so you'll see a link in the chat if you want to pop in here. And you may not hear anything or see anything, but I'll be with you as soon as we're done with the break. Here we go. Joshua, man, you're on the West Coast, so I started at 8 because Hughes Man's on at 9. I try to start closer to 9, but I think that's probably just as bad because that's going to be 6 o'clock your time. But we'll work on it. We'll figure it out, and we'll get it right. HVAC Shop Talk, we back after these messages. The best HVAC companies understand they need to have the highest efficiency and quality in and out of the field. That means having a quality service management software that matches the high technical level of your work. Field Pulse is rated as the #1 HVAC FSM and #1 for both ease of use and customer service. On average, businesses grow 60% within their first year after signing up with Field Pulse. Start your free 7-day trial by going to the description of this podcast or YouTube video and clicking on my link. Then take your business to the next level with Field Pulse today. The Beckett BK17 and 22 condensate pumps are workhorses in the HVAC industry. They have a 3-year warranty. They can tolerate water up to 150 degrees. They come with a bullseye level that helps you install them perfectly every time and a 2.5 quart tank capacity. These things aren't just everyday condensate pumps. They're built to last, and they're from a company that's been around a long, long time. So they know what they're doing. Find out more at BeckettUS.com. NAVAC Global won an Innovation Award at the recent AHR show, which is no surprise. They have all these new battery tools, including the NEF 6LM break-free power flaring tool, which can do 100 flares with one battery charge and only weighs 3 pounds. Find out more at navacglobal.com. My name is Zach Sciotta, and this is the HVAC Fake News. Nortec Dealer Training has issued a statement saying they're overhauling their Good, Better, Best plan for their Nortec salesmen at various companies. The new Good, Better, Best plan will be Good, the basic unit, Better, the mid-tier unit, and Best will be MapQuest directions to a Rheem dealership. In related news, Goodman Manufacturing is doing the very same thing, except they are having a difficult time finding a better and best option at all. Recently, Caladays Heating and Air responded to a service call at the Boom Boom Room, which we've mentioned before. They responded very vigorously, and when questioning the tech afterwards, said there was a great misunderstanding because the tech had rushed out because he didn't hear it as possible blown run cap. He heard it as possible blown run cap bandit. In a response to the evolving tool market, Redneck Tools has decided to go directly up against the iManifold with releasing their brand new wireless refrigerant solenoid. Instead of using electricity or any wireless signal at all, it consists of two rednecks, one at either end of the system, one shouting to the other one, "All right, put some more in." Now stop. In a strange turn of events, almost Orwellian in nature, HVAC YouTubers are being doxxed when other YouTubers don't agree with them. Recently, my HVAC life went into hiding for 4 weeks, avoiding John Israel. This practice has set a scary precedent for HVAC.
You in there, Zach? Hey, you in there? Come on out here. Hey. You'll never catch me alive, sucker!
Recently, plans backfired for Teddy O'Mulligan when he tried to get out of certain attic work by saying he identified as a fatter tech. Teddy said he was a fatter tech and thus couldn't fit through the attic scuttle hole. Unfortunately, his company did not respond in a very empathetic, sympathetic way. Instead, they decided to fire Teddy. Teddy said he's going to get a lawyer and sue them as soon as he gets another job and has money. Several HVAC technicians and installers are getting together to put together their very first diet book. HVAC technicians don't typically write diet books, but here's a sampling of what you might find inside. After nearly every recipe in the book, a cigarette is required both to reflect on the meal and to give your food time to digest, which is a science thing. Also, the use of beer after work can help flush your system out. But because beer is such a small percentage of alcohol, and alcohol does clean stuff, it's suggested to use 12 to 18 beers per night to make sure your system is clean. Also, HVAC technicians suggest to eat your food laying back in your chair at a 45-degree angle, especially in the evening. Thus, when you're watching the big ball game, after you eat in the first quarter, the preceding quarters will have plenty of food to be eaten as you gather it from atop your belly. My name is Zach Sciotta, and this was the HVAC Fake News. If you enjoy HVAC Shop Talk, live streams, and podcasts, you can support us in a variety of different ways. The very simple way on YouTube is to hit that like button and make sure that you are subscribed. If you're subscribed, make sure you're taking part in our live chats. If you want to take it a step further and really help us out, you can join and become a member of this channel. The link to join this channel is in the description of every video. If you're listening to the HVAC Shop Talk podcast, a really easy thing to do is whatever app you're using, make sure you're subscribed to the podcast so you get a constant feed. Also, take a few minutes and leave a review for the podcast as well. That tells Apple and every other app that you're enjoying the show and you're enjoying the interaction, and that way they'll put it out there to new people all the time. If you want to take your support a step further from the podcast vantage, go to subscribestar.com/Zach-CO. You find a link to that in the description of every podcast and video. You can become similar to a channel member, except it's just a different format. I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate it, girls. Anyone watching, and let's get on with the show. If you're expanding a system and you're going to zone a system, sometimes you're going to run into issues getting thermostats into particular locations. EWC solves that issue with the EWT-955WH thermostat. It has several features beyond being wireless. You can use it for gas, oil, heat pump, multi-stage systems, heat only, cool only, millivolt, humidity, and dual fuel, just to name a few. Find out more at EWCControls.com. The Yellow Jacket CA502 combustion analyzer is a simple yet detailed way to look at a heating system. You can perform draft, pressure, and temperature measurements. There's high CO protection for your device, field replaceable sensors, a 12-month warranty. There is an available wireless printer, has built-in dual pressure manometer, and a whole host of other features. You can find out more about Yellow Jacket's brand new combustion analyzer at yellowjacket.com. TrueTechTools.com is the #1 place to get your HVAC testing equipment. You can save yourself 8% off your order at TrueTechTools.com by using my Shop Talk promo code. All right. Oopsie daisies. Yeah, had to do double break right there. Guys, we don't have anybody in the chat ready to chat any farther, so we're going to wrap it up for tonight. And Oxbox is awesome. Let's see who we got in the chat now to close out the show here. We have Joshua Seaton, our Pacific friend. Our Pacific friend will be a little bit later next time, but it won't be much later. We got Ted, Anti-DIY HVAC, Renee Cuevas. We got the Joe Shear. We got the Clint Glasgow. Both of them channel members. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys. Joshua Seaton again. And who else we got here? I thought I saw Matt HVAC Life. That news was for you, pal. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's see who else we got. The Mark Cotter. We got the drummer. We got the Mike Reed. We got Dizzy Dallas. We got Luke Vagel. Yeah, I knew you guys would enjoy that. That was funny. So there'll be more of those. I'm trying not to do the fake news every show because then it'll be like, oh, it gets old after a while. So kind of mix it up with some other stuff. Make it interesting, make it fun, all that good stuff. And one thing I know we need to do, and I will, let me take a look at it real quick and then we'll close things out. Because I know Misfits of HVAC should be streaming now. So you can go check them out. They should be on. That's the channel name, Misfits of HVAC. Let me see if I can bring it up because I couldn't do it earlier. We'll actually end on that and we'll do something else next time. Because I wanted to look at some of the comments you guys left on what you wanted to learn about or talk about. Josh F. said, when is that song going to be available? I make the songs available like channel member bonus things. Like, what do you do for your channel members, Zach? That's what the thing says when you make channel members. Like, what kind of perks you're going to give them? I was thinking, I was going to do nothing. But then I said, I'll make all the songs. There's a playlist full of the songs on YouTube. There you go. So I'm going to copy, oh my gosh, and share over here. This is the live stream for the Misfits of HVAC. So you can go check them out when this is over, which is going to be just in a second. And let me see. I'm trying to remember. You guys gave me a lot of great suggestions, so I'm going to try to line up some shows with some specific content on what you had suggested so that we can do all that stuff. KW, it's my pleasure. I have a lot of fun coming on here and hopefully giving you guys something fun to watch and you can laugh at it, and then we can do some educational stuff, kind of sneak it in there. And I just want to say thank you for HVACR Verse. I think that was correct. HVACR Verse. Okay. I want to thank him for popping in here. I want to encourage you guys, when you see me invite people in here, anybody can do it. Don't be like, well, I don't have anything interesting to say. That doesn't matter. Have you watched the show? Half the show is something not interesting. Clint, thank you for gifting a membership to Spencer De Los Santos. That was interesting. I've never seen his name in the chat before. That's pretty cool. Yep. Right there. Ted, Anti-DIY HVAC. A lot of great videos for him. If you haven't checked him out, check him out. My HVAC Life does a lot of service call videos. Very similar. So go check him out as well. If anyone else has a YouTube channel, I mean, you can, of course, mention it here. I don't have a problem with that. It won't let you link it. But, I mean, typically, if you have a YouTube channel, your name is the link, basically. So, okay, guys, continue to send me stuff if you want to. SEER 2, which I see pop up. Sorry, I see it pop up there. Someone asked about SEER 2. We'll go over that again. We'll talk about it again. And maybe we'll do that next week. I'm not sure what day. Just, oh my gosh, there's always one more thing to talk about. The list where I notify you guys, I tried to revive it, and I was reminded why it doesn't work. While I sent out probably 80 notifications, 50 of them were returned that could not be sent. Now, some of those are probably email addresses that have changed or accounts that have closed, but some of them is just like it's not permitted to send from, because I do email to text. So we're going to have to do one that's just like straight up email. I know people would rather have a text probably, but email is probably going to be the best thing to use. So sorry about that. We'll figure that out. I'll have to make another little sheet or something that you guys can Google form or whatever, but I'll try to do that by next show, or maybe release a video where I specifically talk about that. And Mike says he got his. Mike, we're probably going to have to do it one more time just because so many of them, like almost all of them, failed. It was a little bit disconcerting, even more than the previous time I tried it back in the day. So, all right, this is Hughes Man's link one more time. You see it in the live chat if you want to go watch Misfits of HVAC. It's not just Hughes Man. It's there's a lady from TikTok, and I don't remember her name. I think it's Jenna HVAC Chick, and I'm sorry if I messed that up, but I think that's what it is. Go check them out. I'm out of here for tonight. Thank you so much, guys, and I will see you on the next one.